What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Michael Warbucks Show, where we talk pop culture news and other things that caught my attention. Today is What the Friday, and if you do not know what the Friday is, it's where we talk about a bunch of crazy stories that happened throughout the week, like this six-legged lamb that was born in Valisicki, Georgia. Valisicki? I don't know. Geography isn't my strong point. But weird animal oddities like that isn't something we normally cover on the show, so let's just get on with it. Our first story today comes from Kentucky. Let's talk about Alicia Lyons. She's being faced with first-degree criminal abuse charges. And what did she do? She works at a daycare. One of the kids was acting up, so she decided to duct tape him to a sleeping mat. Look, that is not the way you're supposed to calm down a kid. You're supposed to tramp on his throat. No, I'm going to be a great dad, aren't I? No, but in all seriousness, I feel bad for this kid. You go to somewhere where you think you're going to be safe, and next thing you know, boom, you're taped to the ground. If I was the parents, I'd be suing the hell out of her. So if you want to read up on this story along with everything else that we're going to talk about today, links are in the description below. Now, let's move on to some quick news stories. Our first one is actually something that I've always wanted to do. There was this guy in Tennessee. He hopped into an ambulance because it was blocking his car. Now you're probably like, oh yeah, what's the big deal about that? Well, paramedics were actually loading somebody into the ambulance. The workers were like, oh my God, well you hear the engine started, what's going on? So this guy's being charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle, but still, that is pretty badass. Our next couple stories. Yeah, let's just talk about dentures. I'm not even joking right now. There was a woman in Pennsylvania that had her car broken into, and the guy decided to steal her dentures. She's complaining that, she has to pay for the insurance on the car and then also pay for the dentures. This would suck. Can you imagine trying to find your teeth and all of a sudden you're like, oh, somebody stole them. But my question is, why were they in your car and not like a glass of whatever the hell it is, Effordent, whatever. They're not going to stay clean in your cup holder. Our next story also comes from Pennsylvania. God, we're turning into the new Florida. There was a toothless woman that robbed a bank last month, and she was caught and arrested. So when the cops asked her, hey, why did you do it? She said, look, I got turned down for a bank loan to buy new dentures. That's why I had to rob a bank. Now, she was truly sorry about what she did, but I guess she had to take her matters into her own hands or into her own mouth. But in a sense, I do feel bad for the lady. I'm sure getting dentures is mad expensive, but you couldn't go about maybe, I don't know, asking money from family or, I don't know, using wood, just stuff like 26 chiclets in your mouth, that would be an option too. The lady is facing charges for bank robbery. And ma'am, while you are in jail, I truly hope you're able to get your denture situation fixed. A dent. See what I did there? Now, moving on to our last denture story. Let's talk about this 74-year-old. He was having sex with this 62-year-old prostitute in Taiwan. Now, these two were getting their groove on for like 30 minutes, and congratulations to you for being 74 years old. I guess Viagra does work. So, as reported, the prostitute said, yeah, we just got done having sex. He puts his clothes on, and next thing you know, he collapses onto the bed. So, she ran over to him. She started shaking him. His eyes were open, but he wouldn't start moving. So, this guy was rushed to the hospital, and here doctors found that he had his dentures stuck in his throat. Now this sucks that this guy died. It honestly does. That is a hell of a way to go out. When I die, I want to be banging some chick. See, this is why you should always get the proper glue for your dentures, because you never know when they're gonna fall out during important times in your life. But again, at 74 years old, you pretty much did whatever you're supposed to in life. God, do I sound like an insensitive asshole right now. Now, let's move on to the most popular segment of the show. Oh, Florida. I actually had to look for a story from Florida because I was like, you know what? I can't go a week without talking about this lovely state. So there was this storage unit building owner, and he was told by one of their customers that, hey, my grandma's in your storage unit. Now, he found out about this because he had to call the tenant of the storage unit and say, hey, you're a little behind on payments. Give me some money. Kevin went on to tell the girl that, hey, if you don't come get your stuff, things are going to be auctioned off. And then the girl said, yeah, you might not want to do that. Kevin's like, well, why not? And the girl said, well, one of the items is my grandma in a casket. Now, the grandma was in this casket in the storage unit for over 17 years. Kevin called the Clearwater Police Department, and yes, this body was properly prepared for burial. And the weird thing is, I guess this grandma kind of sort of wanted to be in the storage unit. This story's just getting weird. So the police aren't going to press charges against the family members of the grandma because improper burial is a crime. But this is definitely one of those weird stories that you're going to have to triple read for yourself. Amazing, Florida. Amazing. And our final story, since it's tax season, hey, why not a tax season kind of story? There was this man and woman that decided to rob this Liberty Tax Service place. Now, the woman went in with a curling iron wrapped in a washcloth. That's a great weapon. But little did they know that the Liberty Tax Service mascot was outside. So after these two decided to try to rob this Liberty Tax Service, they were chased down by this guy. Now, the man and the woman have not been caught, but a warrant has been issued for the woman's arrest. But seriously, if that dude was chasing me down the street after I robbed somebody, I would probably just stop and start cracking up. I hope that guy gets his taxes done for free for the rest of his life. Good job on trying to catch him. Too bad you didn't, but I hope you get a hell of a refund out of this. It'd be awesome. All right, guys, that's going to be today's show, which brings us to the comment question of the day, which is, what would be the one thing that you hope was never found in a storage unit? I don't think I really want to know your answers. Don't get creepy on me, people. All right, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to put it in your favorites. Don't forget to share it amongst everybody. And you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go start mine, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday.